Let's share the room out, y'all. Let's share the room out. Once we share the room out, we'll go ahead and get this bad boy started. This is going to be a good one. It's Wind Down Wednesday. Alrighty. I think we are good to get started, right? Let's just go ahead and get this thing started for the day. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to ENS Updates. This is Wind Down Wednesday edition. I currently have a glass of wine in my hand that I will be sipping on for the remainder of the show. Now, why am I doing this? I am sitting back, relaxing, and having a good time. A storm is about to wreck the entire Florida. And before that happens, I at least want to enjoy a glass of wine, right? That's the least a man could ask for, is a good glass of wine before the power goes out and all that other bullshit that comes with the storm. So that being said, this is also going to be a phenomenal episode. So if you haven't retweeted this room already, please do us a favor. Let's retweet this room. Let's get some more people in here. And then we'll go ahead and really get to the juicy stuff, because there's a lot of juicy stuff to talk about, and I want to talk about all the juicy stuff today. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started. First things first, I want to start with is the first pinned tweet I have from Blockworks. Meta's $7 billion metaverse investment is the biggest bet ever made by a tech company on an unproven technology. That is huge, right? And then it goes to compare other tech investments. Autonomous vehicles was a $27 billion investment. Apple's iPhone was a $3.4 billion investment, and Google's Android was a $1 billion investment. So you could kind of see here how how much bigger of an investment they're betting on the metaverse. And I think it makes sense, right? And why am I talking about this? Why is this relevant to this show and to this space? Well, we know that, and we discussed on this space. If you've been on this space for any amount of time, we discussed that ENS is the base layer of the metaverse. The metaverse starts with identity, and identity starts with what we call ENS, right? There will be other protocols. ENS won't be the only one. There will be other protocols, but it starts at the base layer of identity. Um, next I want to talk about, which is huge. Dubai is I'm just gonna read the tweet. I attended the Dubai Metaverse Assembly at the Museum of the Future today. More than 500 global experts are in Dubai to design the future of the metaverse and explore its potential applications. Dubai remains a global hub for testing and developing future technologies. Now, that is huge, ladies and gentlemen. That is huge because one, we're seeing companies, countries, nations all say, "Hey, this is the future, and we want to be a part of that." And this is what we're doing to become a part of that, and this is what we're doing to invest in that. And I think Dubai doing that is a very good sign. I think it's a good look. I think that's also a reason why, probably a reason why Arabic digits started taking off a little bit yesterday. Arabic digits definitely had a decent pump. I think it went from about 1.5 and it jumped to around 3 ETH or so last time I checked. So that was a nice little pump there, and I think Arabic digits will continue to pump, right? Because that is a very strong community of people who who are believers, and more importantly, they're movers. They're taking action. You can see that Dubai taking massive action on quote unquote the metaverse. Next tweet I have pinned up here is Chipotle. Shout out to good old Chipotle. Chipotle is basically shilling ETH, right? They're giving away they're doing a 99.95% off a steak bowl because that's how much energy the proof of the merge is pretty much saving on Ethereum. So it's good to see one of the biggest chains in the United States shilling Ethereum. You can't go wrong with that. And last but not least, one of my this was a very interesting when I was reading it. It looked very good. Shout out to Double Eight for this thread. I'm just gonna review the first slide of this thread, and then we'll go from there. Um, ENS is the best risk reward trade I found in years, and then he goes on to say August 25th, 2021, ENS hit 200,000 registered names. 255 days later, 1.1 million names registered. May 11th, 2016, ETH hit 200,000 unique addresses. 255 days later, 1 million unique addresses. Kind of crazy, right? That's back in 2017. Then he goes to say ETH paved the way ENS could build on. ETH January 2017 vibe. So, long story short, what's being said here is that um, if you want to compare the trajectory of where ENS is compared to where Ethereum was, he's basically saying ENS is where Ethereum was based off that chart of January 2017, meaning that the course of the next 24 to 36 months, man, we're going to run a lot. I think this is going to be huge. There's a lot of opportunity here. If you're here, you're early, you're blessed, and you have a lot of opportunity in front of you. So, with that being said, thank you guys for listening. I'll pass it over to our co-host, Ron. Ron, the stage is yours, brother.
Hey, GM Kev, glad to see you're relaxing. I was going to say batting, buckling down, but I guess you're relaxing down. And yeah, I was been watching the coverage. It looks like it could get crazy. I've been in several really bad typhoons with like 12-foot surges, and it can literally come miles inland and flood. And I've also been in right at the epicenter of a tornado, and it's a most terrifying experience of my life, the tornado, which this is similar. And I didn't realize it watching the coverage today, it actually can spawn some tornadoes, but I think I was in like 140-mile-an-hour winds or something. And I mean, there's just nothing you could do. Just sit there and hope you didn't die, right? You couldn't, the totally ruined my rental car from the hail. You couldn't see. They used to say, oh, get in a ditch. Well, the ditches were all rivers. It was crazy. crazy experience. So yeah, Mother Nature's can be terrifying. But my old man always used to say Mother Nature's a bitch. So that's what came to me when I was trying to say that. But yeah, Mother Nature's powerful. But anyway, good. Obviously I was watching. Sounds like they're making some good preparations. They're, if anyone's ready for this, it's the state of Florida. But yeah, it's a terrifying thing. So wish you well. Hopefully, we'll have signal tomorrow and be able to do the show. Hopefully, electricity. I guess they've already got people from other states to restore electricity. But wow, it makes you think. It makes you think how insignificant sometimes we are, against the power of Mother Nature. So wish everyone well there. I wanted to remind, in case Master doesn't come today, remember his show is tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Eastern time, and that's going to be fun. I really think it's a great opportunity to bridge the gap between, China and the rest of the world. Speak of the devil. Short cao 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 Joe Dow. So there's Master speaking of. But anyway, I just wanted everybody to remember that. I'm looking forward to it. Stumble through a little Chinese. Hopefully, I'll be able to understand most of it, and I'm pretty excited about that. But other than that, yeah, I picked up a couple of grails, did a little will and dealing with old King Maxie. I picked
The rug lords got him. Damn it, they got him. Ladies and gentlemen, they got Ron. Unfortunately, they got Ron. But yeah, as we just to kind of reset the room here real quick. Yeah, we do have a category 4 hurricane coming here. And just to put that into perspective, the highest category is a 5. The highest category is a 5, and the way they do the way they categorize these things, it goes by how strong the winds are, right? So I don't know the exact details, but depending on how fast and how strong the winds are, is how they categorize the hurricanes. And we're pretty much 2 miles an hour away from a Category 5 hurricane. So we're used to it. We're used to it. We get hit by a hurricane probably every other year. To be honest, the way it seems like, in this COVID year, somebody said COVID was so crazy that the hurricane decided to skip us. So we skipped the COVID year, but we get hit by a hurricane every other year. So it's not a huge deal. The worst part of it is just losing your power. That's just an inconvenience there. But Ron, are you back?
Yeah, sorry, I got a call and I guess people don't realize I'm on. No one calls me all day except when I'm on this call. But yeah, I don't know what all you heard, but I was just saying, looking forward to Masters deal tomorrow, and I was saying I picked up Pinnacle.eth and Keycat 420 10K club yesterday, so I feel like those are some good long-term holds. So trying to get those holds, those 3 to 5 year holds that could, when I can, from people. Or of course, I'm always willing dealing with King Maxie, trading some ETH, trading some Maxies, and he's got some good stuff. I got the quad pumpkins, the pre-punk quad pumpkins. Anyway, yeah, so just picked up those two. I feel like they're grails. So I was excited about that. Always excited to upgrade the collection a little bit and look, those 3 to 5 year, maybe 10 year holds. So anyway, looking forward to the meeting tomorrow and looking forward to the conversation tomorrow, and wish everyone in Florida well.
Thank you, Ron. Thank you, Ron. Let's go right over to Master. Master, good evening, brother. How you doing, man?
Hey, good morning, guys. Yeah, today I have some good news. You remember, 1 month ago around, I encouraged all you guys to write mail to Virgil Griffiths, that who was in jail by inspiring the spirit of a crypto. American government might not appreciate that, but we know that as a community for the blockchain, he did the right thing, and yeah, he was our hero. He's a man with the halo, and today I received his mail back, and I think yeah, he was also very kind of impressed about the caring for the from the whole community. And because I also mentioned something about red letter to him, so we exchanged something a bit. He seems very interested, so I'm really happy to discuss with such kind of OG of the ENS of Ethereum community of the uh, the Web3 pioneer. And he mentioned that the Web3 or the crypto war, the phase one, we won. We won the phase one, and right now it is actually phase two versus the centralized government versus also censorship versus all those people who want to control everything, but found out that they got very limited power comparing to before. So yeah, I think this is very cheering information, and I will keep mailing to him when he was in there. It's only like 20 months something, so I'm pretty sure he can he can make it. I want him to keep practicing, don't get himself into any trouble, and keep reading, keep writing. Yeah, I think yeah, he is the man. He is a real pioneer of this industry. So yeah, everyone owe him credit, because he was the one that firstly put a ETH.link originally. Because of his disappear, ETH.link got expired and have to get a job catch. But I think he did the right thing. It's a very risky thing to bring his laptop inside and give others his password to control a lot. That's not the right thing to do. Just yeah, we hope him all the good luck. And another thing is, as Ron just mentioned, this time tomorrow, I think, yeah, maybe 21 hours from now on, we will have a big party between, which is the first time of the space between Eastern and Western. We'll have the Chinese community. They are trying to establish 1,000 people level of the space, which I doubt. I'm not sure, but at least if they have 500 or 600, that's already impressive enough. So they are trying to use a lot of power from between different communities within China, and you guys from Western is also a part of this big party, which is very impressive. And we only have 2.5 tier 3 hours for the space. And overall, we are talking about DID, but we know that DID is not only ENS, but also there are a lot of other projects like .nft, .solana, .tezos. We can, yes, put a lot of criticize or judgment or our what is our opinion on this. I think this is a very open conversation. This is very healthy for the whole community, for the whole different project owners or participants or the club, to speak together. Yeah. And by that time we will have someone to interpret all the English speaking people's voice. And for Chinese people, because majority are Chinese, it will not make a lot of sense if we stop every time after one Chinese speaks. So I will personally translate into a chat box within a Twitter group, group chat. So by tomorrow time, if you are in the group, you may DM the host, which is on the top left. So DM him, he will get you into the group, and you will enjoy all my translation highlights to those what exactly these Chinese people are talking about. But your guys' voice, we will have someone to just interpret into Chinese for them, let them understand what you think about, because they are really exciting to see one and another faces whose majority of the Chinese, our English is not as good, so we will expect a lot. They will expect a lot from the interpreters, translating quality. But I really hope this will be the first time for the union, the real union between Eastern and Western. Like 260, Daniel Gottis, he will be there. I think he was the creator of 99 Club. But right now, actually, the best of the 99 domains, the names are under Chinese community. So those guys are really frequently rich. We have 222, 333, 555, 444. Lots of guys are within that WeChat group. So they are all going to make it. They're all going to be there. And we need to understand what is the next version, because something they will discuss is, will 001 be the best domain ever? Yes? Yeah, this is the best, right? But what if, someday when ENS opens the auction for the one character or two characters, if we have one of these, then is 001 still the best? A lot of questions like that, which is very, they really hit a point, right? Why they have a point? Because they put a lot of money in. That's why they care a lot. And then a lot of challenging, very we say the soul torture challenging questions will be asked to make sure ENS is definitely the only answer. So yeah, I think lots of our points can be brought up by tomorrow's space. And for lots of the West Coast participants, 8 p.m. here, the starting time is 5 a.m., which is very challenging, but they still promise that they will be coming. Like Daniel got his $260. It's his 5 a.m. He said, okay, he will set an alarm clock by 4:50, 10 minutes for him to fresh up and then dive in. Yeah, so it sees that they really have passion, and they really enjoy what we are doing in this whole, ENS stuffs as a community. We are really powerful, just like Virgil said, right? Phase one of the crypto war, we won, and we are on the phase two. And phase one of the crypto war, we won because of speculation of the price. People come in because they want to make a profit. But phase two, this is something not only from speculation. This is something for we truly believe we what we are doing makes sense. What this thing is going to change our life, is going to change the world, because we have that vision. We are so convinced that we are doing the right thing, and we never had a doubt that we won't be able to make it or what. So that's why that's where the faith come from between each other, and why that's also why each of us are participating in this space on every single day, like 5159, our hero Kev. Keep doing that since April to here till today, almost 6 months. Who can be consistently persevere something for so long time? I doubt so. So yeah, that's all because of something that maybe not intangible at this moment, but I believe that's what it takes for us to win the phase two of the crypto war. So really appreciate all you guys' efforts. Really appreciate Kev your efforts for hosting this every single day, and I look forward to talk to you this time tomorrow. Thanks much, guys.
Yeah, thank you, Master. Yeah, let me go ahead and set some alarms. I'm gonna remind my Alexa to wake me up in the morning. I definitely wanna be there and participate in that a little early, but I will for sure be there, man. Yeah, thank you, Master. That is Master, by the way. If you guys don't know who he is, you need to learn who he is. Master is a big figure in this space. Um, I kind of want to reset the room here real quick before we continue. We further on the show. This is the ENS updates. I want to give a huge shout out to our sponsors. ENS Maxis, our first ever sponsor. You gotta love the Maxis. Shout out to Domain Plug. Domain Plug is an ENS marketplace coming very, very soon. Stay tuned for that. And shout out to Crypto Slam. Crypto Slam is an NFT data aggregation site, and they also have their own dope ENS domain marketplace that is a Dutch auction marketplace. So shout out to Crypto Slam as well. Now let's go ahead and pass it over to NFT Verse. NFT Verse, good morning, brother. How you doing?
GM Kev 5159, man. I appreciate you as always. Staying consistent with the ENS update show. Man, Kev, can you imagine when we hit that 1 year? Do you know when the 1 year is, Kev? Do you know when the 1 year mark is? I don't. Well, you got to find out, man, so we can celebrate, right? Because that's going to be huge. But yeah, man, I appreciate you as always, staying consistent. Ron, co-host, master. I can't wait for the space. Looking forward to it. I see 00 in here. Gary P, Quad Rockets. My girl 3402, Flexter. Mafiko 1261. I see Adam in here. Crypto Slam. Hey, that's the Crypto Slam. I got to take a look at Crypto Slam. I haven't taken a look at it, so I have to take a look at that. And then, of course, Shirley. Shirley's in here. Hey, Shirley. Shirley's in here, guys. Good morning, Shirley. But yeah, man. So I appreciate everybody tapping in this morning. The whole entire community. Just for showing up, right? I mean, that's the first step. Is just showing up, getting some of the updates. There's stuff happening every single day. Like we always say, it's just a never stop. It's just kind of just 24/7. Every time I pull up Twitter, there's some type of post out there regarding something that happens, whether it's a sale, of a new word or interesting word. I saw rebuild. I think it was rebuild that sold. And that was interesting because, you have a clean word like build, right? But then also people understand what rebuild is too. So having that prefix on build and some of those words out there are huge. And I think that people have to understand that those are potential grails too, or those are words that can be sold too. Those ones with those small prefixes at the front of it. Just to give you an example, one of the words that I mentioned a while ago was pre-funding, right? So of course you have funding, you have fund, then you have funding, but then prior to funding, what's prior to funding is pre-funding. So those types of words with those prefixes are gonna really take off at some point in time. So if you have them, make sure you hold them. I don't know if you guys noticed also, if you click on my profile, that's my new name that I registered. Did a twist for I still have the NFT verse. I still have that the NFT verse.eth. But at some point in time, maybe somebody they may want to buy the NFT verse .eth. So what I did was I switched it up and I named it NFT verse with a Z at the end .eth. So I still am myself. I'm still branded as who I am, and that will always be my name in this space. So I wanted to have an alternative because I think it's something that we all have to think about, right? Is if you get rid of your name, if a buyer comes and they offer you the right amount for your name and you have to switch it to something else, are you going to make it similar because you've gotten known in this space, right, as somebody, right? And if people are calling upon you or they see your PFP and that name doesn't look familiar, man, sometimes people will forget. You'll pop into spaces and they'll be like, well, I didn't even know you were here because I didn't see that name pop up, right? So they don't recognize you. So just a word of advice, kind of think about one of those names that you can hold forever, right? In this space, this Web3 is not just going to end, it's going to be around for a while. So definitely have a backup in case somebody comes to the table and want to offer you something on the main name that you're kind of flexing right now. And if you possibly give that up, you're going to need the backup and you're going to want people to still know who you are. So I think that's just important to think about in this space. Man, I look forward to the discussion today. Thank you as always, 5159. I just tell everybody, be strategic, stay strategic. Watch how you spend your money. It can go super fast when you're in there DJing on all different types of derivatives and words and things like that. Just have a strategy. Just have a strategy. I'm in it for the long haul. So anytime that I'm minting something to hold for 2 to 5 years because I believe at that point a lot of the words and things like that are really going to take off. So and plus we got to be in a bull market. We haven't reached that yet. So I look forward to the day. It's hump day. Man, community, have an amazing day. Thanks, Kev.
Thank you, NFT Verse. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I'm officially changing the structure of the show. It's Wine Down Wednesday. If you guys don't know what Wine Down Wednesday is, it is the day where you drink wine. So for the speakers who are on the panel, I now require speakers on panel. If you want to come speak on the panel, it is required that you drink wine on the show, right? It is required that you drink wine on Wednesdays. It is a new rule. I just made it up, and this is how we're gonna do things. It is what it is. Let's go right over to my man Flex. Flex, good morning, man. How you doing, brother?
Well, man, I'm in Florida and it's raining here. So I'm going to open my fridge. Let me see. I got a nice wine cooler in here. All right. I'm going to have a glass of Pinot Grigio. How about that? It's Wine Down Wednesday. I'm going to have a glass of Pinot Grigio with 5159. We're going to sit here and bunker down for the storm. I got to find my wine. There it is. Okay, hold on. Yeah, we're good. We're good. I think you're right. 5159. We have been far too serious, far too long. That's why I love, of course, NFT Verse and Friday Night Happy Hour. We can't forget we have our drinks on his show as well every Friday night, just to wind down after a long week of all of what we're doing. I mean, I've only been back in town now for a couple of days. And I mean, a lot changes in a week. Okay, I was away for a week, and I come back, and a lot changes. I mean, floor prices have gone up on the ENS Maxis, which is good, and it's holding steady there at about 0.05. I'm happy about that. I'm still minting domains. I'm still listening to Master. Master, he said a couple of weeks ago blatantly, "I have no shit in my wallet." Period. I mean, those were his words, and he doesn't. So there's no sense in going out there, and if you're having fun, I understand that. If you're having fun and you want to go have some fun and mint some stuff, that's cool. But it's not a shopping spree. It's not a shopping spree. It's not something you just go out and spend your money on, and then you got to maintain that wallet, and nobody really wants it but you, to be honest. And if you do try to flip it, what are you going to flip it for? 1x? I mean, I understand taking profits, but at the end of the day, I mean, we need to really buckle down, I think, as a community and get serious about some of these domains. So yeah, I think we're getting to hit the 3 million because of all the new structure. It ain't because of the BS names. We're going to hit that 3 million mark because of the structure. There's the underscores that are being done still. There's the dollar signs that are being done still. You can see a lot of stuff, and when you go look at it, it's invalid. It's not ready yet. It hasn't been normalized, but they're still being minted, and you need to wait for that explosion, because right now, in my eyes, I always say this is an NFT, right? People can't forget ENS is an NFT. So when you look at it, you want to look. When you think NFT, you think kind of picture, right? You want to look at something. You want to see what it says. So avatars are amazing, because if you're looking at a blue picture all day, as soon as you see an avatar, you stop, right? You stop and you read to see what that domain is. It's great marketing for some of these domain names, and it stops you to actually read the domain. So when you're doing it like that, and you're bringing up these good names that are coming up, once you start seeing the cash tags actually come up with the blue background, once you start seeing some of these other characters that you haven't seen for on the blue background come up, I think we're going to get another surge. It's going to be another surge of those domains. So hitting 3 million isn't going to be nothing. I mean, that's. I was talking about next year. I'm thinking by the end of the year now. That's how fast that's going for me. That's kind of my prediction. Speculation only, speculation only. But I think we'll hit 3 million before the end of the year, because now all the pumpkin spice is coming out, and Christmas and Thanksgiving, and people are going to start thinking and things that we weren't thinking about before, and start minting seasonal holiday things. Like I mean, I could just see it coming, bro. So I think 3 million is going to be easy at the end of the day, and I think it's 100% what you're doing today. I dig it. I'm having myself a glass of Pinot Grigio here now, and I'm going to bunker down for the storm and just wait for it to pass through, bro. So thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Flex. Thank you, Flex. You came into the space and you completely revolutionized it, right? You play an important role in what we're doing here. Always onboarding, always helping out, being a true community advocate. So I just want to give you your flowers. I love what you're doing. Keep on doing what you're doing, man. It is well needed. And once again, shout out to the Maxis. I did bring a special guest on stage. We have my man Adam McBride, NFT archaeologist Adam McBride. And before I pass it over to Adam, Adam was Adam is one of the first people I learned about NFTs from, believe it or not, right? When I was beginning to get into NFTs, I was so overwhelmed by NFTs. It was like, what is going on here? There's all types of bullshit going on. This was back in like August 2021, July, August 20, around that time, 2021, where everything was just pumping, all types of random projects. And Adam focused on purely on historical NFTs, and that's kind of the niche I decided to take. And Adam, welcome to the stage. How you doing, brother?
Thanks,
Hey,
man.
I want to say before Adam jumps in, same here, Kev. Adam's the first person I ever heard talk about historical NFTs, which is my number one investment right now. So I just wanted to say that before true legend in the space.
Hey, I appreciate you guys, man. It's always a pleasure to be up here. Um, Shout out to both of you guys. Kev, I was on a big spaces yesterday, and people were like they asked me the question. Well, it was a space about like flipping and trading, and what's the best strategy for flipping and trading? And I was like, dude, so few people on earth can actually like trade successfully, like almost nobody. I was like, the best strategy is do what my man Kevin did, which is like believe in something, uh buy into it, and then talk about it, promote it, add value to projects. And like what you've done for ENS, all you guys up here have done for ENS is incalculable, man. I mean, you can calculate it. Look how many people have bought ENS over the last 6 months, right? Like that's like directly related to the work you guys have done. So, man, just congratulations, well deserved. You got, I mean, Kev, we talked about this fucking a year ago. I mean, it's like, how are we gonna fucking make the future? And it's like, dude, we have to fucking build it, man. And what you guys are doing, appreciate it so much, because like literally you guys are building the future, man. And so yeah, thanks, man. I did have my little a new kind of semi discovery this morning. There's nothing to sell. I'm not selling it at all. I just kind of telling the story. I don't know, Kev, if you pin that up top. It's just one of these old, token projects where the guy kind of tied a token to a physical item. It was a keychain. The guy was selling keychains at the time, Bitcoin keychains. And yeah, it's a cool piece of history. Like you could actually redeem the token for a physical item. So it's one of the very, very first that did it. But what I think is the coolest thing about it is the guy Rob he was a Bitcoin guy, and he took a bunch of pictures of the keychains to kind of, and made them CCO, which allowed anybody to use the images, right? So he understood this back in 2014, took images of the keychains, put them online, put them on Flickr and stuff. And dude, the artist behind the Spells of Genesis Satoshi card actually used one of those images to make the card. It's literally like, when I learned that, I was like, holy crap. If you scroll down that thread, it's the Easter egg thread. I don't know what it is, number 10 or 11. You don't need to read the whole thing, but like number 10 or 11 tweet on that thread shows, like, he figured it out. Rob did years ago. No, never got any traction. Because I know everybody, I was able to connect to the actual artist behind the card. And the dude was like, yeah, you got me. I used it. And I was like, I didn't get you, man. I'm fucking psyched because this is incredible. Like, one of these images of the keychain was actually used in creation of a legendary card in the NFT space. And yeah, telling the story was a real pleasure for me. And I was gonna actually release it tomorrow, but Joe Looney, in a tweet yesterday, you guys know Joe from like Rare Pepe Wallet, was like, dude, I think there was the one called B Keychain, which was like from 2014, was actually the first physical use of a token and whatever. So his tweet came up, so I put it out today. And anyway, that's kind of a rough version of a really an incredible story. And anyway, thanks for letting me share it, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, congrats on the discovery, brother. If you guys aren't following Adam and interested in learning a little bit more about historical NFTs, definitely give him a follow. And let me say this real quick as well. There's only two types of NFT projects, well, NFT avenues that I go down. One, historical, two, ENS. Why do I go down these two paths? Because they're unruggable. I'm gonna say that again. They are unruggable, right? I'm not here for the rugs. I'm not here for the pump and dumps. I'm not here for the project founders that are trying to raise 60 million to take vacations to Cancun, right? That's not what I'm a part of. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here to make solid investments. I'm here to build a community. I'm here to make lifelong friends, and I'm here to invest in the future. And that's why I like historicals, and that's why I love ENS. So give Adam the follow if you want to learn a little bit more about ENS. And with that being said, let's go ahead and pass it over to my boy Mafiko 1261.
Yo, what's good? What's good, guys? Awesome story, Adam. I mean, incredible find. It's one of those things. I stumbled on that thread yesterday, and someone was asking about the first first token linked to a physical product, and so crazy odd timing. But amazing story, and it's a really cool Easter egg. I'll definitely say, guys, same thing with Kevin and with Ron. I've learned a great deal from Adam. He's one of the first people I learned about NFTs in this space, and building on what Kev said, I'm the same. I actually tweeted yesterday that, for me, I my two areas of interest are historical NFTs and ENS, and because they're unruggable, and because of, and in a subsequent tweet I mentioned, because of the strength of the communities. So if you think about PFP projects, oftentimes you may have a strong community within that particular PFP project, but there's very little you'll see in terms of the more blue chip PFPs where there's this kind of collaboration going on, where communities are coming together, where people are identifying as being part of this PFP kind of movement. But you see that with ENS. You see people being a part of this decentralized identity movement. ENS, you see it with the historical community, different projects coming together, unifying. And I think that's a really important thing, especially in a bear market. You want to see where, for me, I'm interested in what are the pockets of spaces where people are really engaging despite prices being volatile or the market sentiment being down. ENS, before prices and digits took off, you were seeing that organic community forming, and that's only grown stronger since then. And historical communities, I mean, that has been very strong from day one since I got into it in August last year. So things to bear in mind for sure in terms of if for me, I go, if ENS and historical NFT communities are doing well in terms of organizing, and there's a lot of education, entertainment, and onboarding going on in the bear market, what does that mean? What are the implications for when we then shift into a bull market? So I think communities which are strong and are engaged and are doing things when the going is tough will stand a much better chance of surviving and being successful when sentiment changes. And that's why, yeah, ENS and historical communities are of deep interest to me. One thing I wanted to talk about today is around the ENS token, which I think a lot of us as a community, I think, is kind of in the periphery. So not something we talk about a lot. And it's, often, and I'm of this opinion as well, that it's just a governance token. That's it. And whilst that is true, I'm really spending time lately thinking deeper in terms of what are the implications of that token. How could it be used in the future? What players in the market would be interested in obtaining that token, and for what reasons? And that my current thinking has led me to believe that that token may be of interest to institutional holders. So people who want to get exposure to ENS, but don't have exposure right now, don't have names, digits, etc. And part of my thinking, and this is very, very early, guys, so bear with me. The logic isn't 100% clear. But what I'm thinking at the moment is I'm kind of thinking that the ENS token is similar to stocks or shares, such as you think about Amazon. So, for example, Amazon, they don't provide any dividends. It's basically, if you're investing in Amazon shares, you are betting on the assumption that the share price is going to increase over time, and that Amazon will continually reinvest those profits into the company. Now, granted, ENS is not a for-profit company, so that analogy doesn't hold true per se, but I think there are similar dynamics between the Amazon share companies that don't provide dividends and the ENS token. But that's where I'm at the moment. So I'd love to hear thoughts, opinions. If anyone has any ideas of how they see the ENS token playing out in the future, I'd be really, really curious, because I think there's just something we're all overlooking from potentially maybe an investment side, but also in terms of the dark side, in terms of what if institutions come in and they don't buy the names per se, but they buy the ENS token. What does that mean for the DAO? What are the implications for all of us down the line? That's all for me, Kev.
Yeah, my figure. I think, after you brought that up, it's kind of like if ENS is going to be what we think it's going to be, I think, I think we're all kind of vitally underexposed to the token, unless some of us here might be really exposed to it. But yeah, I agree. I would love to hear from the panel. That is a great question because I think that might be the biggest. I think if you can, real quick, can you talk about the gold rush analogy that you made as well, real quick, and that'll kind of give us a little bit more context as well.
Yeah, sure thing. So, I was just thinking about, I like to think in analogies. I think they're really powerful, really good ways in terms of trying to ground new ideas to things of the past. And oftentimes they don't fit 100%, but they do give you a bit of a foundation. And so I was thinking about the 19th century gold rushes, and there's this saying that people who were most successful in the gold rushes were the people who bought the pickaxes or sold pickaxes, not necessarily the prospectors, because prospecting does a chance in terms of things going wrong and not finding any gold. But the people who sold the pickaxes definitely made money. And so I thought about that analogy in the context of ENS, and I said, and actually Bashar and a couple of people chimed in, and the thinking there is that the registering domains is kind of like prospecting for gold. There are some names that we don't know of right now that may be successful, some may not be successful. Some names that were successful in Web 2 may not necessarily be successful in Web 3, but it's that notion of you're prospecting, you're trying to identify what names will be the most valuable. Then we think about in terms of the pickaxes, and that is more around the infrastructure tools. So you think about ENS Vision, you think about all the marketplaces that have popped up. Those companies, if they're charging percentage on sales, they're kind of facilitating. Yeah, there's a facilitation process there, and so that's more around selling kind of the pickaxes. But I think there's an underrated element with the token is where does the token fit in that context? And at the moment, I'm kind of thinking perhaps maybe is the token kind of the land that the gold sits on? I don't know, but that's the kind of question mark I have right now in terms of where does the token fit in that analogy. But I think that's a good way of thinking about definitely ENS in terms of if you're registering domains, it's kind of like you're prospecting for gold in a way. And the companies that are providing the infrastructure and tools are kind of the ones who are selling the pickaxes.
Love that. Great analogy. Let's go over to Flex. Flex, go ahead, man, if you want to respond to that.
Yeah, thank you so much, Kev. I think I agree with you, brother. I think I agree with you 100% that people are overlooking the token, and there's a couple of reasons, and your analogy is amazing. I love it. I mean, I love conspiracy. I use the word conspiracy. You can use the word analogy. So being a conspiracy maxi myself, I know that ENS Maxis, the actual project, they don't talk a lot, but during one time they did speak. One of the things they were saying is that the ENS Maxis love the ENS token or the ENS coin. They love it. We had a scavenger hunt with the ENS tokens. Quad Rockets was the winner on that. Came in first place. We had a little thing going there, and the prize from ENS Maxis was ENS tokens. So we're trying to get those ENS tokens as a community, as a Maxis community as well. We're trying to get those tokens more noticed because we believe as a community, not financial advice or whatever, but we believe that people are sleeping on that token. I mean, that thing had I believe this year, the all-time high was in the $85 or $90 region just this year. And I think over all time, it broke 100 at one point, I believe. So when it sits at, 12 and 15 bucks, roughly is what it's been at recently. I think, for me personally, I did get some. So I like them. We won some, ENS Maxi scavenger hunts. And that's why we love that community because they're very engaging. The project founders they're undoxed, but but they're very engaging. They're always there for the community, always doing things for the community, sponsoring shows, sponsoring this program, which we love, sponsoring ENS Latinos, sponsoring the NFT versus Friday Night Happy Hour, so on and so forth. So yeah, I'm with you 100% on your analogies and your conspiracies about this coin. Something's going on with that coin, and I'm just going to be a part of it. Whenever it does happen, I'm going to be a part of it. So yeah, don't sleep on the coin, guys.
Yeah,
I love that. Go ahead, Ron.
Yeah, I'll add to I'll comment on Mafiko's analogy, because that's the whole thesis of the crypto fund that I run, which is kind of my day job, is 100% built around that exact analogy. Because in the early days of the .com, we were the gold miners, right? We were able to struck gold. We were lucky, right? A lot of 99 out of 100 companies didn't strike anything. But in retrospect, as my partners and I look back, I mean, my partner sold his IMAL. The IMAL sold to Excite in 1999. You can Google it. IMAL sold to Excite for $425 million. So I mean, it was a big strike. But we look at it. And we're like, during that time, we were so focused on finding gold and just getting people to buy from our mall and help people build websites, that we built AuthorizeNet. We built these huge analytic companies. We built some of the major companies out there today. AOL, we handed out millions of discs for them. We printed the discs, and we paid millions of dollars to distribute them, because we needed people to be able to get online and do it. And so we built these household names. And after we went public, we did invest in them, and we did okay. But we would have been way better off just focusing on those infrastructures. And the example I use is like Wells Fargo and Levi Strauss, and some of those companies are still major worldwide brands today. So, Mafiko, I would say that ENS is the Wells Fargo, or it's the telegraph companies, right? That is one of the infrastructure plays, and that's what we focus on. That's why we own in that fund. We own all the layer ones. We own all the payment. We own ETH. We own everything. I mean, and when you think about owning ETH, is kind of like owning the www. You know, I mean, we own the base layer, right? Whoever invented that www and that whole base layer infrastructure never got paid, or they'd be the most richest person in the world right now. So we got to realize this is a huge opportunity. But Mafiko, I would say that it is, the Wells Fargo, their plan was they moved the money back. They moved the gold, right? And they protected it, and they had armored stagecoaches, and that's how Wells Fargo started. And there was the telegraph companies, and I believe that ENS Vision falls into that, and that's why it's one of the things we own in the fund. And I believe, just from a purely, look, they can say governance token all they want. They're saying that because they don't want the regulators coming after them. The reality is, it's only valued at $300 million, fully diluted, $1 billion. That's nothing for something that could literally be worth hundreds of billions of dollars. So, yeah, that is what we do, and I tell that very story to every investor that thinks about coming into our fund. And that's just our thesis. That's our overall thesis, that we would have been so much better if we could make a time machine, go back right now. We wouldn't have the companies we would just focus on these infrastructure. These, I call them kind of the foundational things that have to be in place for a revolution to take place. And ENS and Ethereum, obviously, those are those building blocks. Those are those infrastructure plays. Those are the picks and shovels. Those are the Wells and Fargos and the other, the Levi Strauss, the telegraph companies that probably became, Ma Bell, which became AT&T today. So, yeah, that's my thought. And yeah, and it is interesting what Flexer said, because I actually was one of the only people to ever talk to the ENS Maxi team. And they, 3 different times, and they had a disguised voice and everything. 3 different times they said ENS Maxis love ENS coin or ENS tokens, and it was weird. So whoever's behind it, we don't know who it is, but they're big on it, and I'm big on it, and I think we want to control more. And I'm working on a project right now with one of the goals is to try and control massive amounts, hundreds of thousands or maybe even millions of those tokens, because I think it will be important. And I don't want Wall Street to control all those. I want us to have a significant say. Us as the builders, us as the investors, us as the ENS community. But that's my thing. I say it is one of the infrastructure plays. That's how I classify the ENS.
All right, there we have it, y'all. Time to go balls deep in ENS token, right? Adam, you had your hand up and then you took it down. Did you want to comment on that?
Actually, I wanted to ask a question. Has there been any talk about the ENS DAO kind of doing like Dutch auction style for like the 2 digits or 1 digits and raising funds that way, and that way be able to keep, there was some discussion from Vitalik about, raising fees on the ENS and stuff. And it's like, there's so many avenues, like especially with the lower digits or lower, numbers, being able to raise funds that way through, kind of Dutch auction styles. They could raise, tens of millions of dollars doing it that way. Has there been any discussion about that?
No, not recently. I mean, the last that the 2 digits have been discussed was recently when Vitalik was talking about, changing the pricing renewal function, and what was it called, the harbinger tax, and then they were sort of talking about potentially applying the harbinger tax idea potentially to the 2 digits, the two characters, I should call it. But I there's been no real discussion or talk about it other than that. And then that's not even like real discussion. Basically, we're not going to be releasing the 2 characters or even the 1 characters until we get, more network effect. And we just don't have the network effect yet. Like I believe ENS is a done deal. I think ENS won. I think that, it's not certain. It's still possible that ENS could fail, but I strongly believe in ENS. We still need, more crypto people to believe in ENS. I'm thinking about normal people. Forget the normal. We need more crypto people to get their ENS names. We need more. I don't want to say influencers should be talking about it, but I mean, I guess influencers that I see on like people with 1,000 space Twitter rooms, they all have their ENS name. You know what I mean? But still, we need more people like having it, more people using it. I don't want to get ahead of my rant when I go, but and then we need companies to get into it. We need companies to buy it. Yeah, we got a couple companies that are buying right now. It's because they're smart enough to be led by, Vayner Media, and they're like ahead of the ball. But are they really using it? Are they really leveraging it? And then once we get that sort of hype, right, that's when we got to release the 2 characters. Otherwise, I mean, think about it. Like, yeah, there's a market for digits because so obviously how liquid it is, but the single words are still not even selling for what they should be selling, right? Like the top 1,000 dictionary words should be trading at like hundreds and hundreds of Ethereum, right? Like words should be trading like Bored Apes, right? Like Apple or not even Apple or Amazon. I'm trying to think of like generic words, but like, Boston.eth should be trading at like 100 to 500 ETH right now, right? Like openly. And, monkey.eth, that should be like, 50 to 150. I'm just practically making up numbers, but, like we need to, have that more higher level of maturity, which is going to come with more usage and more people leveraging all the millions of different reasons why we can use them. But right now people are just like, word cool, right? And like some people like the sophisticated use cases of the millions of applications of ENS, right? Like they're buying ENS, and there's all these other people that are like numbers are cool, and they're buying ENS, and there's all these people in the middle, and they're just like not there yet, right? And so that's when that's going to go down.
Love that, Gary. That was a great response, and I do think based off of that chart I pinned to the top by AA. If you guys haven't reviewed that yet, definitely take a review of that. Is basically comparing the growth of ENS compared to the growth of Ethereum, and it's saying that ENS is where Ethereum was back in early 2017. So we have a ton of room to grow. NFL Champion, thank you for being patient with me, brother. The stage is yours, man.
No problem, bro. Thanks for having me. Thanks for holding the show, bro. Mafiko, I think the question you raised is super, super interesting. And I think that Like the comparison or the analogy that I draw in my head is the DAO is the mining company, right? And the ENS token is the deed to the mining company. And what I mean by that is really simple. You control the token, you control the company, right? It's all about controlling interest, right? It's votes at the end of the day. And it's a very, very simple formula. You have 100 million tokens in terms of fully authorized, right? That's what they can issue under their control. Now, can the DAO obviously have a vote and ultimately issue more coins and more tokens and dilute? Sure, they can, but they just be hurting their own bags. But in essence, you control 50 million and one tokens. You control, right? That's ultimately what it's going to come down to, and that's a scary thing. And to Ron's point, it's you don't want Wall Street. You don't want these tokens getting into the hands, of the wrong people, because those are the ones that are going to ultimately make the decisions. And when you really think about and look at this, look at the market today. Everything is red. You know what's not? On crazy almost $100 million worth of volume, ENS, right? There's a reason for that. People are starting to see the numbers. People are starting to see that July was the start of a ridiculously high. What you can clearly see is are record months, record registrations, new people that are coming in. This ecosystem is growing, but I think it's super, super important to truly understand what exactly or how this whole thing works. So I love that you're having that conversation. I would love to be a part of it in any way, shape, or form, or stay informed some way, because I think that's really going to determine what happens. Yeah, I mean that's really it. The other thing is to what Adam, I think it was to what you said, right? I think in regards to raising funds for the DAO via sales of digits. I think it's a massive conflict of interest. I think that would bring maybe unnecessary attention, because when you really think about it, you're making the rules of the marketplace that you're governing over almost, right? So I think that's maybe something to potentially keep in mind in terms of how funds are actually coming into the DAO. But yeah, I mean, overall, that's what I wanted to say. The DAO is the mining company, and the deed to the mining company is that ENS token for sure.
Yeah, that is a great analogy as well, NFL champion. I love that. Great. Shout out to Mafika for bringing up that discussion. I do think we do need to pay more attention to the token and how useful that is and what the role it plays in what we're doing. But now is my favorite time of the show, my favorite part of the show. Let's pass it over to the weather reporter 3402. The stage is yours.
GM, everyone. Happy to be here and not in Florida. Stay safe, Kev and Flex, and anyone else in the path of Hurricane Ian. I'm going to bring you more uplifting weather, which is brought to you by Crypto Slam, who's with us on the speaker panel. So give them a follow for more alpha. Now to our top 24-hour category, Arabic digits on fire, HODL, the 999 Arabic Club bringing in 146 ETH volume, which is a 517% increase in 24 hours, jumping over 50% to a 2.9 ETH floor. The Arabic 10K Club over 15,000% increase in volume with a floor price of 0.046 ETH. The 10K Club, the 24-hour volume dropped while the floor is staying hot at 2.9 ETH. And with the 100K Club, we have the floor up, the volume down with a 0.0 floor of 39% and a drop in total volume of 30% ETH. Then we have the 999 Club with almost 50 ETH volume and a floor of 39.3 ETH. And the keycap emoji 999 Club, shout out to my guys, Novax and Verse. This club has increased by over 1,300% in 24-hour volume and 55% in the floor price to a floor of 0.93 ETH. Top 24-hour sales of 4-digit grails, 7,000 ETH sold for 28 ETH, and the ENS community, we are not phased. We know grails when we see them. Get ready, Shark Tank. I'm going to shill. A 3-digit palindrome 242.E sold for a whopping 46.69 ETH. Now to our top bids. I don't think that this one will stick, but Say.ETH has a 5.5 ETH bid, as well as Pizza.ETH. And some big names, small bids. We have Prada.ETH with a new bid of 15 ETH, and Apple with a 6.66 bid. For those grills, I am not expecting to see those off the shelf. Now we have our impressive sales. We have Wrap.E sold for 6.15 ETH. That is a steal. I'm talking RAP, not with a W. That is the deal of the day, in my opinion. I'm giving it to Wrap. We have Quad Emoji Palm Tree sold for 1 ETH. Another win for the buyer. We also have Pinnacle.E sold for 2.05 ETH. We now know the legend who bought this grail. Congrats, Ron. And we have Triple Puke Face, as Kev has pinned to the top, for 11 ETH. Additional NFT sales per Crypto Slam Clone X starting this week with strong sales volume, 7 double digits with ETH sales in the last 24 hours and 50 sales yesterday alone. By special requests, we have ENS Maxi PFP at a 0.05 floor price, bringing in 442 total volume. And that is a wrap for the weather. Stay warm, stay safe, especially if you are in the eye of Ian. Thank you to the community for always being here with us, and Crypto Slam for sponsoring us. And as always, Kev, being consistent. Thank you.
Thank you, 3402. I love, I don't even have to say, let's give some hearts. You guys just know to give the hearts to 3402. Yeah, this is a quick time to reset the room. Ladies and gentlemen, we do this show every Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we talk about all things ENS. This is an open forum for the entire community to come and chat. A special shout out to our sponsor, Crypto Slam. My bad. We have so many sponsors nowadays. I get kind of mixed up with them. Crypto Slam, ENS Maxis, and Domain Plug, the NFT marketplace, coming soon. Let's go over to Flex, and then I do want to hear from 00 right after. Go ahead, Flex.
Thank you, man. No, just a quick shout out to the weather girl, always bringing the heat. And mentioning the Shark Tank there, we did have about 500 people tune into the Shark Tank last night. Gwayman jumped in there and sold pain meds for 0.3 in like 30 seconds, Kev. It was 30 seconds. Gwayman jumped in there. He shielded pain meds and it was gone. So yeah, thanks for the shout out, 3402. You're always welcome to come and shill your stuff every Tuesday, guys. It's every Tuesday, 5 p.m. Pacific. No, I'm sorry, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So yeah, jump into the Shark Tank and come bring the heat, guys.
Thank you, Flex. Yeah, the Shark Tank is a great show hosted by Stephen Miller. I love what you guys are doing there. I got the chance to go on stage and pitch some domains yesterday. So it's all fun and games, right? You don't necessarily go on there expecting to sell, but you could go on there getting some good, valuable feedback on your domain names and what other people kind of value them at. Let's go over to 0000, man. We wanted to hear from you yesterday. You were driving. Hope you're not driving today. How's everything going, brother?
Going on, Kev? Thanks for having me on. Hey, Ron and Master. Gary, forgot about Gary, and Crypto Slam and NFT Verse. Do you remember I gifted you the NFT Verse back in the days? I'm glad you're still using it. So I'm not actually driving. So I'll give you a little update. So the other day, Bloom tweeted that Zero and I are about to manage broker / $1 billion worth of ENS. Basically, we're taking a Web 2 version, bring it into a Web 3 version, to 3-prong approach, and it's basically managing portfolios that we have clients now. So the news on that will give out by Monday, and full details on Monday as well. Second, I would like to thank Master, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow's morning's 8 a.m. space. When Master first DM'd me about this idea, so I sent it to Furion. He represents ENS Vision the best, and we are looking forward to the space and appreciate Master reaching out to us. Third, I've been giving grants out before I joined Vision, and even when I joined Vision, private grants. So it's individuals or a project where they promote or educate ENS. So my grants were from 300 to 1,500 per project, and I add on to it thereafter. So the biggest grant I've given was about 2,300 to one project, and the smallest grant was 300. The average grant was 500. So upcoming months, I'm going to start up that again. I'm going to do double or triple whatever I gave out beginning of the year out of my personal funds. So I don't want anyone to be mistaken. These are Vision funds. Anything that's been given out the past half year are from my own pocket, not from Vision. So I would like to give more announcements and details on on your show when I'm ready to give out more private grants to individuals who are educating and onboarding new members to ENS. It's not for anyone to put money in their pocket and just walk away. Or if you had something going on, I get like 50 DMs every morning about stuff like that. But I appreciate you having me on, and thanks again, Kev.
Thank you, thank you. I'm really excited to hear more. You guys keep delaying the announcement, but I'm really am excited to hear more about what you and Bloom managing portfolios and how exactly that's going to look. Great innovative stuff you're doing, right? We need more builders in the space who are doing things like that. So, like Mafiko said, it is the axe, right? Selling the axe. Let's go over. Crypto Slam has his hand up, and then let's go over to the Kid Genius Quad Rockets.
GM, everyone. How's it going? It's great to hear the conversations happening. We just love what's happening in this space. This is Justin Johnson, the marketing manager at Crypto Slam. I'm super excited to be partnering with ENS Updates. Great job on the weather report. We just love everything that's happening in the space. I just kind of wanted to take some time to congratulate all those who have been building and been watching and been participating, especially in this space. With everything that's happening right now, just wanted to take some time to mention that this mass adoption concept is an inclusive concept, and what that means is it's bigger than what's happening in the U.S. and the Western Hemisphere as a whole. We are part of a global movement when it comes to ENS, and ultimately that is what Crypto Slam is all about. We track multiple blockchains, over 15 various blockchains and NFTs, various projects, and we just love the data. We're data nerds here. Also, huge shout out to what Master is doing. In case those who joined a little later, Master is hosting a space tomorrow, I believe, and just love what he's doing to integrate and onboard more people from China into the ENS space. And also wanted to shout out that the Chinese digits, so Chinese 999 Club is over 2,700%. For ENS, which is fantastic. Kev noted that Arabic ENS digits are mooning right now, which is just awesome to see because that just plays into what we talk about when we look at mass adoption for ENS. It's a global thing. So Arabic digits, Chinese digits mooning. Arabic 999 Club is over 400%. I believe actually over 500%, as 3402 mentioned. The Team Clay Club is over 300, up over 300%. We also have major brands like Sega, Bentley, Apple, the Patriots football team bought their ENS domain. In each of those companies have either announced plans or are already in the NFT space. So we just love what we're seeing, and we love that we're a part of this. And all this activity is happening during the bear market. So we're just setting ourselves up for success. So I'm super excited about everyone that's participating in this space and the conversation surrounding. Even Disney announced plans to build a metaverse, which is fantastic. Speaking of China, universities like Nanjing University in China was the first to have a metaverse major that they just announced, which is just awesome to see. So across the globe, we're seeing so much happening in the NFT space. And it's just crazy because, again, this is all happening in the most quiet period. So really only the serious, really only the people who believe in the long-term vision are here right now, which is awesome because it's a lot less noise and honestly a lot less competition and way more collaboration happening. So we just love to see it and we're happy to be a part of it. Kev mentioned anyone who's speaking has to have some wine, so I got my bottle of wrestling out. We're sipping wine, and speaking of wine, we actually have a few wine names listed on our NFT Dutch auction marketplace dropping now. So as the Dutch auction goes, prices are literally dropping every minute. And some of the wine names we have listed are Ersailles and Verdil, literally at 0.00001. And the price is dropping. So we just have some steals on there. So definitely you might be able to find something on there to bring to the Shark Tank. So check it out. It's droppingnow.io. But we just wanted to congratulate everyone who's been a part of this space and just thank you for allowing us to play our part as well and join, tap in with Crypto Slam. We have a podcast. We're actually dropping a new episode a little bit later today, so please tap into that. And anyone who has a project or something to talk about, whether it's ENS related or your own thing, definitely let us know. We'd love to connect and see how we can help. And if it's a good fit, we'd love to bring you on the podcast as well.
Thank you, Crypto Slam. Very, very, very well said. I do think the idea of their marketplace is very interesting with the prices dropping every single day. Dutch auction. It kind of reminds me of the ENS DAO, right? When the name expires and it drops every day in price. So very similar concept right there. Now I hope you guys have been drinking wine, and I want to give a huge shout out to Verse. Verse, if you host every Friday night feeling the way I just felt a little bit earlier in the show, man, that is a skill. That is a talent. And shout out to you, man. I want to pass the stage real quick over to the Kid Genius Quad Rockets. The stage is yours, brother. How are you doing?
Hey, thanks, 5159. Do you mind if we pass it over to NFL Champ? I saw he had his hand up for a long time.
Okay. Oh, NFL Champ.
No, go ahead. No,
I
go
didn't
ahead,
see
go
you
ahead,
down there, buddy. Go ahead, man.
Yeah. I appreciate it. No, I just had a quick question for 00. I literally in the last few minutes, I got a text message or a DM rather from a member of my community, and I'm curious, 00, where Vision is on this. A member of my community got a notice from OpenSea saying an item you own has been delisted. It's been delisted because it goes against our terms of service. This means it will no longer appear on your profile or in your collections. Delisting an item on OpenSea does not remove it from your wallet. It remains on the blockchain and you can still transfer and share it in other places. You can see what's in your wallet on Etherscan. And the domain was HomeDepotRentals.eth. So that right there ultimately is telling me that there is Home Depot has reached out to OpenSea and said nobody lists this, otherwise we're going to pursue some sort of legal action. Anything with the Home Depot name on it. So you're going to have to start going, at least it seems like for Home Depot, to some of these more decentralized, because let's be honest, OpenSea is not decentralized in any way, shape, or form, right? You're going to have to start going to a lot more of these decentralized platforms. And this is going to get super, super interesting. But 00, I'm curious, for Vision, how do you guys see this? Are you going to let us list if you guys get a notice?
Yeah, we made an announcement earlier. I'll repeat it again. Any DMCAs that you get from OpenSea, it does not affect what you have on Vision. So we don't comply with that, and because we're in a different country, that doesn't need to apply with that. So yes, you can still sell it on Vision without any issues. So we don't do any takedowns whatsoever.
Got it. Thank you. Very important to know. Appreciate it. Thanks, Kev.
Nice. That's what it's all about. Yeah, right. I just added Ron back up to the stage. He gotten rugged. Quad, you ready for us or what's up, bro?
Yeah, completely ready. Thanks again, Kev, for your dedication, as well as Ron and Master and all the speakers that are coming every day. It's truly awesome, and like everybody else has been mentioning, it's the people that are building, the people that are leading in this bear time, and this time where everybody has their heads turned, that are going to be the ones you're going to want on your circle later on. So I appreciate you guys, and I'm excited to see all these sponsors coming through for you to support you. That's absolutely amazing. Shout out to those guys as well, all three of those sponsors. But yeah, I don't got much to say today other than I don't have any wine on me, so I apologize for that. I'll try to straighten up for the next show, for the next Wednesday, I believe. But yeah, it's one of those kickback days and kind of look at what's going on and find out what to build next or where to go from here.
Love that. Love that. Guys, there is a couple people who is requesting up, but there is no space on the stage. So if you're done speaking, please, if you want to step down and I could bring up some new speakers on stage, that'll be phenomenal. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you all. Thank you all who came in and spoke. You guys are what makes this show special. I did an interview with ENS Vision on Friday, I believe it was, and I think they asked, I forgot what they asked me, but anyway, what makes this show so great is that I'm surrounded by smart people, right? I'm surrounded by people who are extremely knowledgeable. They know what they're talking about, and it makes my life a bit easier, right? When you could just pass the mic to somebody like Gary or Verse or Ron or Master or 3402, and you guys do all the hard work for me. So this is my time to say I'm giving you all your flowers. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of this segment. Thank you for showing up every single day. It means the world to me. And if I had the ETH to give to you guys or whatever it is, I would, but I don't. But I'm giving you guys my gratitude and my love. Let's add more speakers on stage. Let's go over to Mrs. Marvel. Mrs. Marvel, the stage is yours.
GM, everybody. GM Kev, thank you so much for having me up here. I know we're getting close to the end of this space, so I just wanted to share really quickly that the Marvel ENS Club is having their first ever space this morning. It's going to be at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So come join us. It's going to be so much fun. We're having Miss Pakistan there, Katie Cat, Captain America, NFL champion, Sex Deegan. It's going to be amazing. We're going to talk about Marvel. We're going to talk about fandoms, and it's going to be a really good time. So I hope to see you all there.
Hey, can you pin something to the top about that space so I could set a reminder? Oh, there you go.
I just pinned one for you, Kev, up top.
Yep, I already have a reminder set. Awesome. Cool. Yeah. I'll definitely try to tune into that and look forward to hearing that discussion. Let's go over. Thank you, Miss Marvel, for coming up and sharing that. Let's go over to the Scoop Daddy. The stage is yours.
Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everybody. I love this space. I try to come on as much as possible. Today there was a lot of talk of the tokens. I don't know anything about the tokens. I was wondering, I know probably cutting it short today, so maybe a topic for another day, but would love to hear, what the tokens are, how they're used, how you get them. Still pretty new to the space, even though I have a fairly decent amount of ENS names. So would love to hear about it. Again, if we need to push it for another day, that's totally cool. I'm just in Florida waiting for the hurricane.
Well, first of all, you got to make sure that you're safe and know what the storm surge is going to be and, stuff like that. But, I'm sure you're making sure that you're safe and all that good stuff. The ENS token, there's ENS names. There's the ENS protocol. There's the ENS DAO. There's also $ ENS token. You can get $ ENS token on Uniswap, Matcha, just like anywhere where DeFi tokens are traded. It's a ERC20 or whatever. It's like an ERC20 token, and it's like a currency, except it's a governance token. There's 100 million of them, even though it's inflationary. There's about 20 or 30 million of them that have been released, and every single one whole ENS token equals one vote in the DAO. And right now, Coinbase has about 250,000, maybe more ENS tokens, which means Coinbase, when they vote in the one wallet that we know about, because they could have additional wallets we don't know about, their voting power is 250,000 votes. And so, we all need to have more tokens, because having these tokens is how we protect this network, right? If like the entire value of the ENS network and the entire project is basically all held inside this token. And right now, I think it's undervalued. And what's going to happen is I think it could go to the moon. And when it goes to the moon, people are going to be like, holy shit, like one token is like $1,000. And, I want to sell it because I want that money because I need it. And then they're going to be selling their vote, selling their power, right? And then whoever has the most votes has the most power. And it's really, really important that everybody, uses ENS, everybody takes responsibility, everybody takes ownership. And, and if the network grows, you're going to grow. And then if you can hold on to that, you know what I mean? Like one of the reason Elon Musk is a billionaire is because he owns all this Tesla stock. And if he sold all the Tesla stock, then he wouldn't be a billionaire, because that would go to A, he wouldn't be able to, and then B, it would go to zero, right? It's like you gotta hold these chips, and you gotta protect these chips to protect the castle, right? So, owner of a company is always going to hold on to, a percentage of that company, right? Even after they retire, they want to have voting shares. They want to have their wealth connected to that, and we just need to recognize the immense power and responsibility in having Ethereum and ENS tokens and real governance tokens that really, delegate real power to change the system, to change the pricing, to change the rules, to approve new controllers, to approve new smart contracts that interact with, the core code. It's really important that, for me, I'll speak for myself because, not financial advice and all that. For me, it's really important that any company that I build, has ENS on the balance sheet. And it's really important for me that, for the people who are involved in ENS, for them to hold ENS on their balance sheet. It's like, if it's important to hold, if I have a POAP and you want to have my POAP because you want to like be my friend and you want to have my NFT, or you want to be part of like this NFT project or that NFT project, you want an ENS maxi, you want to be part of the club. You sort of got to have these ENS tokens if possible, because you need to financially protect the vote, which can be literally purchased away from us.
Yeah, and it's available everywhere. I mean, it's on all the centralized exchanges or decentralized exchanges. You can get on Uniswap, SushiSwap, Binance, KuCoin, FTX. It's easy to get. It's just ENS is the ticker, obviously.
So basically, the only way to get it at this point is to purchase them on the market.
No,
yeah, they did an airdrop last September.
Yeah, you can also get the token through, you can exchange it for goods and services. You can receive a proposal from the ENS DAO, and I don't know if they, sometimes they distribute, I would imagine distribute funds or tokens, like right from the DAO, right from the treasury, they can also be released. But, the easiest way would be to purchase it. And then the second easiest way would be to probably earn it somehow.
Well, thanks for the info, y'all.
Awesome. Well, we have one more requested speaker, and then we'll call this one a day. I just brought up, I think that's Golu. Golu, the stage is yours. Golu, you there?
GM everyone, and good evening from India. I just request you to join the space for showing my gratitude towards the community. I personally think that it was the best community ever in the Twitter space, because every single ENS holders are ready to help everybody.
Yeah, thank you.
Sorry if I lost the connection because it's due to poor weather connectivity.
Yeah, did you have a question or something?
Yeah, actually, I want to ask that is there any way like ENS tokens is the next level of it's simply used as a currency. If there are any developers who can do such thing that it can be uh, used for renewal of our domains or for minting the domains, then it have the great potential to do something big.
Yeah, Golu, you're losing connection there. I'm not really sure what you're asking. Is kind of going in and out. In the meantime, let's go over to Gary. Gary, the stage is yours, brother.
Hey, GM, everybody. Yeah, thanks for having me here. I love the show. I just really appreciate everyone putting in the work and doing the work, especially in this bear market. Yeah, Brantley inspired me with his tweet. Just that reminder that in a bear market, it's not only an outsized opportunity to build and to invest and to make money for the next bull run, but it's also an outsized opportunity to invest your actions to earn social capital. And you get to see who's serious, who actually believes in the vision, who's in it for long term, or who's not. And all of that is revealed. And so everyone's here, everyone is showing up, and you need to recognize the power in that for yourself, the power in that for the community. And in terms of actions, if you haven't bought your ENS name, consider securing your ENS name. If you have secured your ENS name, consider making it your primary name. If you have set it as your primary name, then figure out how to add your avatar, right? Either an NFT or an image avatar to your ENS profile. And if you did that, look in the other fields, right? Add your Twitter account so people can see, oh, that this is definitely the Twitter account. And if you did all that, then make a decentralized website. Just make a really simple, the simplest HTML website, and just paste it on Pinata, and then connect it to your hash file. And do these things, because the more that you're using the name and not just buying it or just slapping it on your Twitter profile, the more you're using your name, the more you're going to be learning and experiencing and improving, your everything about this technology. And you're going to be even further ahead of the game for as this market develops, right? As we get into this next bull market, because you guys got to realize you're doing all the work now, and so when the bull market comes, you don't want to miss out, right? And at some point, I think we all know it's only a matter of time before an actual sort of big Web 2 company does something big with ENS, right? We're seeing so many signs. It feels like we're on the precipice of some sort of big ENS implementation, and then there's going to be this huge rush of people coming in, and it's not just about a community where we're helping each other. And I think we kind of have that accomplished. I think there's a lot more that we can do, but I do want to make sure that as many people, will be lifted up when this new market comes. And so the way that you do that is by taking action and using your ENS and just exploring and having that childlike curiosity, carefully with the blockchain.
What a great way to end the show. What a great way to end the show, Gary. That was very well said. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the ENS Update Show. We do the show every Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is an open forum all about ENS, all about Web3, all about everything you could think of. Any questions, comments, anxieties, frustrations, this is the place to talk about it. This is the place to let it out and let it loose. I want to give a special shout out to our sponsors, starting with Domain Plug. Domain Plug is the ENS marketplace coming soon, right? Shout out to CryptoSlam. CryptoSlam is a data aggregation site, and also they have their own little ENS marketplace that is a Dutch auction marketplace. And last but not least, I want to give a shout out to our first ever sponsor, ENS Maxi, a 10K PFP ENS collection for all the maxis out there. With that being said, I'm about to hop on the wine. I'm about to kick back, sit up, and enjoy the storm. So see you guys tomorrow. Shout out to the co-host, Master. I'll be there tomorrow, man.